All right, hockey fans, final game of the day here. Poprad Ice Stadium in Poprad, Slovakia. 2025 World Junior Ball Hockey Championships, the men's U20 division. Semi-final matchup between the United States in blue, Czech Republic in white. The winner will face Team Canada in the gold medal match. So at a minimum, the winner of this game will go home with silver. The loser will face Slovakia, who you just saw defeat Switzerland in the bronze medal game. The stakes don't get much higher than this. Expected a good one. These two teams met in the round robin. Czech Republic held on, for lack of a better term, by way of a 6-5 victory after they jumped out to a 5-1 lead, and then the United States came storming back. So that first one was a barn burner. We'll see how this one shakes out. Czech finished their pregame warm-up looking sharp. United States looking equally sharp. Expect a very fast-paced game here. Both these teams know what's at stake. Nobody needs to remind them. Chance to play for the gold. That's what you come here for. Chance to go home with some hardware. And I know that they're amped up. I'm amped up. Hopefully you're amped up. Everybody's amped up. I know the arena's amped up. We're going to be underway here in just a second. Be sure to check stats.isbhf.com for the latest scoring needs. We have live scoring in effect. Also download the ISBHF app on the Google Play Store or your iPhone store. And since you're watching us on YouTube, do us all a favor. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, please. The more subscribers we get, we can start generating some revenue. The ISBHF is a non-profit, and all that revenue go right back into putting on more world-class championships for these amazing young men and all the other divisions we have. Referee signals to the goalies. Timekeeper check. The ball is dropped. Underway here. Beautiful day today in Poprad. High of about 78 degrees. Not warm in the arena. Don't expect the heat to play a factor as the United States chips it in to the Czech Republic zone. In net for the United States, Bryce Scanlon, as Czech Republic gains the U.S. zone. Sent in back down deep. Taken by Manning Almeida, back to Warner Sine. U.S. going to go ahead and get a line change going here. Dropped off to Rob. Marek Fleischmann in net for the Czech Republic. U.S. patient with the ball right now. Rob still with it, centering attempt. It's going to end up all the way in on Fleischmann, and he'll just cover up. So face-off down deep in the Czech zone. That first game between the Czechs and the United States, USA actually jumped out to 1-0 lead, and then Czechs just started pouring it on. But credit to the United States, you know, there's no quitting that team. They came storming back, scored the 5th goal with just under a minute remaining, and had a couple of close looks to get the equalizer there. I don't want to say the Czechs escaped with a victory in that game because, hey, you put up 6 in the net, you deserve the victory. But that's about as close to classifying it as an escape as you can get as the Czechs look to crash the net, ridden off the play. Good defensive stick work by Cole Hilliard. Stoltz back behind the net. Looking for an outlet, has none, bodied off the ball. 4 players digging at it, ref right there. Still digging at it. U.S. comes away with it, rifles it around. Gonna have to keep an eye on Jacob Batista, the captain. Could be a healthy scratch. He took a stick to the face. As we get a whistle again here, Fleischmann. In the game against Canada last night, he took a stick to the face on a follow-through. Ended up bleeding profusely on the floor. And speaking with the team, his eye was in rough shape, virtually swollen shut. They've been putting ice on it as much as they can, do whatever they can to reduce the swelling. As that trickles in on Fleischmann, we get another whistle. He may or may not see the floor. I don't know. If I see him out there, I'll point it out, but it's all just going to depend on Jacob Batista's eye. He's number 81. If you see him on the screen, you'll know. Back to the point. No shooting lane there for Nikolowski. Down low. Matish battling with it. Out to Wysong. Matish down low, bodied off the ball. Giving the Czech player the business. Wysong almost had a good poke check there. Matish follows suit. Well, intercepted by Wysong. Good read on the play. Nice job by the U.S. Ooh, that shot just whistled wide. Keep by Warner Sine. Going to try and get that back down deep. Can. Czechs will be able to get this out of the zone. I think they're going to just dump it in and go for a line change. That's what they do. Looks like it's wholesale as the U.S. sends a fresh set of forwards out. I think in terms of floor time, based on what I've seen from the USA this week, Warner Sine has probably been out there the most, followed by Manning Almeida and Batista. So the loss of Batista certainly would prove crucial in a game like this. As the Czechs get a break, centering attempt. Oh, he had an empty net. If he could have caught that one in the warehouse, might have had a really good chance putting it on the back of the net. But pass was just behind him. Now it's number 81, I believe, Otek Simonek. As we get a whistle here, the ball's frozen along the boards. 11:36 remaining. Been a great week of hockey. Been a great 2 weeks of hockey, right? Started out last week at Hradec Králové, or as some people ended up calling it, Kravlov. Just a little inside humor there. Beautiful city in the Czech Republic where we held the U16 and U23s, and then I ended up taking a train over here. Some people drove. So really what is a beautiful city of Poprad, Slovakia. If you ever get the chance to come this way, about 2 hours south of Krakow, Poland, certainly Make your way over here as the speedster Manning Almeida shows those wheels. Trying to circle around, drops it off. U.S. behind the net, wheeling and dealing. Now in front, off the side of the net. Manning Almeida overruns it. Czechs come away with it, but has a poke check back behind the net. Good read on the play by Kwasny. Kwasny now. Far boards, throws it on net, redirected. Fleischmann had to make a stick save there. Not sure how that one made it through all the traffic. Backhand attempt by Manning Almeida just goes wide. Redirect there previously was Joey Moore. Listed as Joey Moore the third. Shot, save. Good job cutting down the angle by Scanlon, not giving the shooter anything to look at. Easy save. Long slap shot wide. Thomas gives chase, bodied off the play by Stolch. Stolch carrying it into the neutral zone, turnover. Over to Warner Sine, he's got a lane to the net here. Shot off the crossbar. Oh, Warner Sine almost gives the U.S. a 1-0 lead. Centering attempt and alone, stick save up off the glass. U.S. with 3 good opportunities so far. Czech Republic desperate to get it clear. They can't. U.S. going to catch them with some tired legs now. Path for Nikolowski. Shot right into the breadbasket. Oh, he's frustrated with himself. He saw what he was trying to do. Had a good look at it. He had his head up the whole way. He's trying to go top shelf over the right shoulder. But hey, credit to Fleischmann. Came down, cut that down, that angle. See here on the replay. Put his heads up, and Fleischmann took that extra step. And I tell you, as a goaltender myself, right, taking out that extra step, so important. Don't give shooters anything to look at. These are world-class shooters. There's Batista, so good sign for the U.S. He certainly can be a difference maker. Chance of Czechia breakout. Czechs looking to get some momentum going here as Scanlon just let that hit his chest and put the rebound. Good position for his defenseman to pick it up, keep the play going as he can feel the U.S. has some momentum. They're going to get a change behind the scenes here. As chance of Czechia stop. I feel like America needs a chant. Czechs got the drums, Slovaks got the drums. You American folks back home, I don't know. Maybe you ought to come up with some sort of American chant with an American instrument, right? As Czech Republic break it out. Looking to gain the U.S. zone, they do. Centering attempt right into the breadbasket of Scanlon. Harmless shot, easily smothered, face off down low. Get back to the chant, trying to think of an American instrument off the top of my head. The banjo, perhaps? Got a little banjo action here at the ball hockey games. Just trying to keep it light, folks. It's been a long 2 weeks for your humble play-by-play announcer here. Doing my best to keep you entertained without a color commentator as we get a whistle. High stick. So he's going to check the player. It's the far referee that called it. You couldn't see it on the play. I saw it. It's obvious high stick. And I think number 2, Caden Wysong knows it. And I've said this before. When it comes to penalties like tripping, high sticking, it doesn't need to be intentional. And in point of fact, that's exactly what happened with Batista last night when he caught one on the foul through. I actually thought that wasn't a penalty, but if you're in the actual finish of a shot, but thanks to referee-in-chief Michael Wabi, he corrected me on that. Player must be in control of his stick at all times. So Batista ended up drawing a 4-minute penalty on that, which the U.S. capitalized on against Canada. Shot blocked. Looks like the U.S. player felt that one. Can't see the number from here. Might be Matush. Shot blocked again. Down low, centering attempt. Hey, credit to Mashas for sacrificing his body on 2 straight rackets. Third one makes it through. Passed out, trying to poke it out of the zone. They do. The U.S. stacks the line. Czech's going to go ahead and get set up here. Good clear by the U.S. Czechs trying to wheel and deal through. They can't. No, just it's mental, you know. Listen, it's not my place to sound like I'm criticizing players, right? You know, I hate when analysts back home do that, you know, act like they know exactly what should have been done. It's just easier to see space up here, right, where you're in the box. The shot goes well wide. But things like that where you're trying to stick handle through traffic on a man advantage, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, I get what he's trying to do, but why risk it, right? Because now you just cost your team 20 seconds on the man advantage. Czechs in all alone! Save Scanlon! No defensive breakdown on the United States. Czechs almost capitalized. Another save Scanlon down into the butterfly. Not sure what happened there. Must have been a miscommunication on the part of the U.S. defense. Uncharacteristic. I've not seen, I've called all the U.S. games. I've not seen that happen. So there's Warner Sine, right? They're going to try the same play. I mean, that's what Warner Sine's been doing the whole time. Using that long reach, just preventing that exact type of play, but all right, none of us are perfect. So U.S. kills the man advantage. Will they convert this into some momentum as the Czechs get a turnover? They're going to go for a line change. What? No, they're actually going to give chase here. I thought they were going to go for a line change, but the players kept running. Out towards center floor, U.S. carries it up. Chipped into the zone. Batista giving chase. Macic forces him backwards. Batista's going to go off. Number 10 for the Czech Republic, Marek Danicek, comes out, scored that memorable overtime winner in Liberec 2 years ago. Give the Czechs the gold medal. Very famous photograph in Czech Hockey Ball Federation. U.S. trying to wheel and deal from behind the net. Walk it out in front. One-timer shot, score! The United States goes up 1-0. Hey, what a play by Manning Almeida. I just can't say enough good things about the wheels on this kid. I mean, you talk about a motor that just doesn't quit. I don't know where he gets the gasoline from, what they put in his Wheaties in the morning, but I feel like this kid can just run ultra marathons. Look at that pass right on the tape, top shelf, Caden Wysong, bang, U.S. up 1-0. And there you see the difference, right, with Fleischmann. That went over his right shoulder. When you don't take that extra step out, that's what happens. So remember that shot earlier that he ended up swallowing up in the breadbasket, cutting down the angle. For you young goaltenders at home, that's a prime example. When you're able to, take that extra step out. Centering attempt. And we get an offsides call here. So good start for the United States. They've certainly had the more quality scoring chances compared to the Czech Republic. And in fact, I'm going to check stats.isbhf.com to see where we're at on shots on net. Bryce Scanlon is listed as having 5 saves, but I mean 4 of those were dumping, no harm. So Fleischmann with just 2 saves, but those are 2 good saves. And there were 4 other ones that missed the net. So in terms of quality scoring chances, certainly favors the U.S. So Manning Almeida with the lone assist on Wysong's goal. U.S. is going to get a change here. Drop it off to Warner Sine. Crossbar pass, far side. Chip softly up over to P.J. Pagetti. It's been another American that stood out this week. U.S. wheeling and dealing from behind the net. net gets dislodged, and they're calling a crease violation, so the faceoff will come all the way out of the zone here. .357 remaining. We might have a special guest color commentator coming up into the booth. I'll let you know if he shows up. Don't want to give away the surprise. U.S. wins the draw. Batista. Along the near boards, trying to make a move. Has it poke checked away. Czechs gain possession. U.S. steals it. Gains a Czech zone. Waiting for some help. Centering attempt, Aaron. Batista unable to corral it. U.S. being forced back into the zone. Goalie browsing around over to Warner Sine. Back to Nikolaski. Czechs with a very aggressive forecheck here. It's working as they're about to get the steal. Nope, hey, credit to Nikolaski. I spoke too soon. Able to maintain possession. Don't often see the Czechs get two men down deep. Centering attempt, nobody there. And Rob is not going to be able to keep that in. That was KJ Meek on the centering attempt. As players go diving into the boards, I think the Czech player might have hit his head on the board there. He took an awkward bounce, but he appears to be okay. Back to the action now. Czechs going to gain his own long wrist shot, easily patted aside. Scanlon looking very solid so far as the U.S. goes to gain the red line. And Rob has it stolen from him. Czechs poke check it in. They don't have numbers here. U.S. get back into position. Czech player goes down of his own volition, wasn't tripped. U.S. players now going off for a change. We're going to be patient behind the play here. Minute 38 remaining. U.S. up 1-0 on Whitesong's goal, assisted by Manning Almeida. U.S. gains his own. Walks it back to the red, over to Nikolaski. No, they didn't gain the zone, my bad. That looked onside from my vantage point, but again, I don't criticize referees. I'm not down there, they are, right? He's got the hardest job in the tournament, referees. Approaching a minute remaining in the opening period here. High drama in Poprad, Slovakia. Winner will face Canada in the gold medal game. Canadians definitely will have, call it just a physical advantage, potentially a mental advantage, because they have the day off today. And believe me, ask anybody who's ever been in the World Championship, you get a day off just to rest, be able to recuperate. It's huge, it really is. So whichever team ends up winning this game, they're certainly going to have their work cut out for them against a very strong Canadian team. But it's not like Canada's dominating, right? They beat the Czechs in overtime, and they didn't end up getting an empty net goal to make it 4-2 against the United States. But the United States had 4 opportunities in the last 90 seconds of that game to tie it. One hit a post, one hit a foot, one whistled over the crossbar, and the other one the player fanned on an empty net. So I'm not taking anything away from Canada, right? They won the game. They absolutely deserve it. Just saying that they don't look as dominant in the men's division as they do in the women's division, where Canada's only given up 1 goal all tournament, and that'll do it. All right, 10-minute break between periods. We'll see you back here for start of the second. U.S. up 1-0.
Skończyła się prawa, następnie majsterce světa Romero, Česko, Spojené státy americké, za znovu 1.
V prvním přestávkovém rozhovoru tu mám u mikrofonu obránce Víta Musílka. Víťo, jak to známe, semifinále, či když to řeknu obecně, vyřazovací utkání mnohdy mažou rozdíly mezi dvěma protějšky. Změnili Američané svůj přístup oproti tomu předchozímu vzájemnému utkání?
Já si myslím, že ne, spíš my jsme do toho vstoupili hodně ospale, možná nervózně a musíme to do druhé a třetiny rozhodně zlepšit.
Co jsme mohli vidět v průběhu té první třetiny amerického golmana, jste zatím víceméně výrazně neohrozili. Co se musí změnit do toho dalšího průběhu utkání?
Náš pohyb, náš herní projev a zkrátka Američani tuhle třetinu zvládli líp, musíme se připravit na tu druhou a věřit, že otočíme.
Díky a hodně štěstí.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for the second period. I might sound a little different, but I definitely look a little different. I'm pretty cute. Here for the USA U20 versus Czech to go to the gold medal games. This is not Chris Pekanowicz. This is the handsome Jason Kelly coming in for the second period. USA steps in, wins that forward. Czech defender picks it up. Czech sends it up the middle. Drake Manning Almeida takes this guy over the boards. Czech brings it to the near point. Quick shot on net. That's blocked down low. Drake Manning Almeida plays the body, takes it into the corner. He gets taken down by the Czech player, gets up, picks up that ball. Warner Sini gets it up, lobs it out. USA, Brandon Kwanzi is on it. They're on sides. He's got a long stick. Back to Almeida, shot just wide. Czech player goes down in front, nothing there. He tripped over his own feet. Moore gets it back into the corner to Kwanzi. Kwanzi battles along the board. He loses to the Czechs. Czechs come up the near boards. They step in his zone. He's got two on him. Swings it back up, back to the corner. Playing a little peekaboo with the USA defender there. Czechs swing it back up the boards. Taking in the corner, Warner Sini is on him. Little jumble up there. Czech player tries to come out front. USA steers that into the corner, back to the Czech player. Czechs have it, he's looking up top. He's got Warner Sini all over him. Tries to give and go. Warner Sini's not gonna let him through. Told him, I'm 7'9", you're not tall enough. They go in the corner again. Czech player comes out with the ball. Warner Sini steals it from behind. Puts it up to Drake Manning Almeida. He's got the blue line. He's going to gain the red. He's coming through. Crosses Moore. Breaks it himself on the backhand. Just gets a toe on it, the Czech goaltender. USA comes in, keeps that ball in the corner. They're pinned on two. Drake Manning Almeida centers it out front. Goalie steers it to the side. Thomas is going to go a little pressure. Here comes Biagini. Czechs bring it up over center. Put it back in there. Number 8 for the stretch pass there. 8 shoots at a bad angle. Scanlon turns it around. Czechs have it in the back. They're trying to play that ball. USA's on top. Czechs got it over on the far boards now. Tries to make a move, that gets poked off of him. The USA brings it back out over center. USA takes it in with burst of speed, turns, fakes out the player a little bit from the Czech. Tied up in the corner, puts it out front, just misses cutting Biagini. Czechs pick it back up the far corner. They're looking for the home run pass, a little lob off the hands there. USA doesn't let him in. Czechs have it now with a 2-on-1 down low, pass over, 72 Czech shot. He puts it up high. Czechs play that with a high stick. There's a whistle from the referees. Czech player behind the net might be 6'8", but he's still got it above his shoulders. That comes out to a neutral zone draw.
We need light.
USA steps in here for a face-off. Czechs win it back. They take it into the zone. Defender, shot. Rob tries to block that. They miss it. Dangerously out front. Rob tries to throw it behind the net. Hits a Czech defender. Rob steals it back from him. Big Joey Rob on the boards, gets tripped up. No call. Czechs have it back up top. Buda Wysong all over him. Shot down low. Scanlon steers out to the side. Rob picks it up. Spins off of his defender. He lobs it up to Louis O'Connor from USA. Tries to get it in. The Czechs steal that. O'Connor's all over him. Back to 87 for a one-timer. He puts that wide. Scanlon's just going to cover it and hold it down on the side there. Both teams have been looking for a few home run outlet type passes here. It's going to work eventually for somebody. This announcer just hopes that it's going to be the USA first.
I think it was a penalty, but I'm biased.
Yeah, that play on Joey Rob over there as he came through, trying to break through the defender. The defender put his stick down, totally missed the ball, got him right in the feet. Referee saw it for a different way. Drake Manning Almeida steps in for the face-off here. He wins that back to Joey Moore, gets it back to Warner Sini. He flips it up. Czechs steal that pass over the far side. Drake Manning Almeida comes in, shot. Scanlon steers it into the corner. USA picks it up back behind the net. Czech player comes in, they steal the ball. Warner Sini's all over him. Chases him back behind the net. Warner Sini gets high stick, nothing there. Referee missed that. He got a elbow right in the face. They bring it up to Kwanzi. He's going to slow it down a little bit, turn around, puts on the Jets. Fast Czech player behind him. The USA shoots it on net, steers to the corner. That's Fleischmann for the Czechs in net. Czechs just have it in the far corner now. Bring it back here to the near side. They're slowing down. USA's in a bit of a 3-2 trap. Czechs don't have too many options here. He's got a near side pass to number 10. He cuts into the middle, breaks into the zone, tries to do a little flip pass, puts it too far in front of him. Bad shot off of Scanlon. Warner-Sané picks it up. He hits Drake Manning Almeida in the middle, slows it down. He loses the ball. They put it back up there, but that's Joey Moore picks it up, gets it up to Manning Almeida. He takes it in the corner. To Moore, one-timer. Goaltender Fleischmann makes a big save there. Moore was all alone. He picks it up, his own rebound in the far corner, tries to get a little space off the Czech player. The two of them go down. The Czech player loses his stick, and he takes Moore down. Shot from the point, driven in the net by Fleischmann. Referees are letting them play here. This is going to get fun. Looks like the Czech player is asking why that wasn't a penalty, and I'm pretty sure the referee told him he was going to call him if he called anybody. You could see earlier on this replay, this bad angle shot, tries to fool Scanlon. He just knocks it down to the side there and says no thanks. Connor Evans steps in for this draw. Czechs win it back in the corner. Evans goes right after, ties it up, steals it off the Czech player. They got it in their feet. They're battling. USA comes out with it. They swing back into the deep corner. Tries to peel off him again. Have it back in the corner. Czechs are giving him a little space. He's going to come up top. Gives it to Evans. Evans puts it across the middle. Nobody was home. USA chases that ball into the near boards. You can see Jim Doherty from the USA bench, famed USA captain at one point in his time, talking to his players. USA gets it down in the corner. They get tied up with a couple Czechs. Trying to get it behind net. Comes out front. Nobody's there. Czech players come out with it. Driving home run pass. They well defended. Czechs have it in. They have, shot. Low side here. Just puts it over top of the net. USA's got one change, and they get it up to Batista. Batista got a bad cut last night and had a few stitches. He's back in playing this game with a bit of a passion. He's not worried about it. Evans picks it up, goes back behind the net to Rob. Rob swings it around to the other side. USA over center, chips it deep, goes in with a little bit of speed. Gets the angle on the Czech player, but meets him behind the net. Czech player comes out with that ball. Chasing him down, keeping him penned in. Czechs are going to take it back behind the net. USA gets reset. Back in there 3-2. Very passive 3-2, letting the Czechs stay back there. Again, they're looking for the home run pass. They don't get over the line, takes a quick shot. Scanlon just steers out of side. USA has it back behind the net. They play a little pitch and catch. Zavola puts it off over to Rob and goes for a change. Rob just takes it back behind the goal line. It looks like the Czechs are doing a 2-3 trap. They're not looking to take off any time. USA is probably okay with that since they're up. Rob goes for a change. And the USA got a fresh 5 out on the floor. Warner-Sané tried to sneak behind everybody there on that change with Rob. Thomas beats a guy, gets over the line, snapshot, that gets blocked by number 16 from the Czechs. Ball comes all the way around. USA keeps in. They get in the middle to Biaghitti. Biaghitti comes back to Batista, back to Biaghitti on the far boards. They're looking to play a little catch. Biaghitti cuts for the net. I'm sorry, Batista cuts for the net. Biaghitti tries to give it to him. Goes in the near corner. Batista picks it up again himself. The Czech player takes it out, and there's going to be a call there. Same exact thing happened to the USA player, and they didn't call it, but now they are. Going to give Batista a trip for getting tied up with two players as the Czech player overran him and ran through him. They called that a trip. Over in the corner, got a couple players talking to each other, just saying hello, asking if they want to get a beer after the game, maybe. Maybe not, who knows. But we're coming all the way down to the USA defensive zone. USA is going to send out John Nikolashki. I didn't say that right, I apologize. Warner-Sané, Buda Wysong, and Nicholas Mattis. Mattis steps in for the draw. Mattis wins that into the middle, but the Czechs pick that up. They get set. USA's in their box. Shot. Big save by Scanlon. Steers it off to the far boards. Czechs bring it back up top. Playing it down low on the near side. Try to get it in. Nothing there. Blocked by the US. Czechs swing it back up to the far point. They bring it to the near point for the one-timer. Blocked by Mattis. Czechs have it down in the near circle now. Number 10 for the Czechs. Quick shot. Rebound. Save again by Scanlon. Big save there. Remember that one, folks. Right on the doorstep. The Czechs had a rebound, and Scanlon just ate it up. Another one-timer put out. Warner-Sini picks it up. He brings it up the red line, just dumps it deep. Mattis goes for a change. Wysong calling out the play, moving his people over in the middle. Biagini comes out. USA stacks the line. Czechs are moving well across it. They got 3 low. They're changing another player. They just bring it in, bring it back up to the point. Wysong hits Biagini with a steal. Biagini cuts in the middle. Shot! Just missed wide. Wysong's going to go in after that ball. They chip it through him. Biagini's putting on the Jets to get back and help to cover Wysong. Great coverage by the boys. Wysong comes all the way in, makes that player get the ball up. They get back set in their box. The Czechs bring it back and forth over in the near circle, looking for something special here. Stepping in the middle, brings it back to the near circle, trying to drive the U.S. defender away. Shot, just misses the net wide, goes to the far boards. They pick it back up by the blue line, send it down to the back circle, center point. They bring it, shot, just wide there. Scanlon might not have saw that one, but they missed. They keep it in, though, on the clearing attempt. Czech player has it, 10 seconds to go. Saved by Scanlon on the near side. Warner-Sini picks off that pass. 3 seconds to go on the power play. USA changes it out. They get all 4 players changed. And here comes the captain off of that. Great kill by the USA boys. 5:30 to go in the second period here. USA's up 1-0. Scoreboard shows the shot 6-3, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Czechs changing a couple bodies here. They bring the ball up over center on a 3-on-3. They try to get through. Joey Robb uses his feet there, gets that ball off. Kwanzi chips it out over the middle, but not enough. He gets back to Kwanzi on the turnover by the Czechs, gives it back to Robb. They look to reset. Robb and Hilliard out of South Jersey fame, playing for the Marlton Dogs in the NBHL. Shots right now are 13-6 for the Czechs. Looks like the Jersey boys are going to play a little pitch and catch here right now. Totally okay with that. It takes seconds off the clock. Robb throws it up to Moore. Moore just misses that outlet. Czechs get it back on the blue line and bring it in. Robb's all over his players. He tries to spin look. Tries to beat Robb to the outside. Lets him go behind the net. Robb gets a little piece of him. He goes down. Referee says play on. Robb chips that ball out. That's going to go down for an icing, probably. No icing. Czech player slowed down. The referee told him, get your ass in gear, kid. Here we go. As the Czechs bring it up for a home run pass. They miss. That's a hand up in the USA. They get it over the line. Czechs keep it in. Hilliard stays up top with his guy. Czechs bring it back up to the point. Joey Moore's there. His guy tries to beat him, steps in. Joey Moore and US players switch. Down low a little bit. Blocked by the US again. He tries to get that out. Hilliard, he misses a guy. 2 on 1 down low. Big block by the diving US player. I'll see who that is in a second. Czechs swing it back up top. They're all over the US right now. US is playing well. They steal the ball on the boards. They try to get it up. Joey Moore's there. He's trying to pick it up. Hilliard's a little tired. He's got his guy in the corner. He's not giving him any space, though. Czechs trying to pick him up boards. They try to go for the give and go. Hilliard's all over the give. Number 7, the Czechs comes out. He shoots that high. Drake Manning-Amida comes in, gives him a little body. Czechs come off with it. They miss the one-timer. Manning-Amida's got it. He comes out with some speed. It's got to be the fastest guy in the game this week, folks. He takes that ball down, spins off the corner, looks for the change. He's got the captain coming, just misses him. Back up top to Warner-Sini. Over to the far side for the one-timer. Shot saved by the goaltender. That was 85 Thomas with the shot. Fleischman with the save with the one-timer. I think that we have a TV timeout. Chris, why don't you give the guys a little talk about what you saw at home?
back from the commercial break, just to answer Jason's question, I like the Czech power play, just too much sharp passing and trying to look for that perfect one-timer. I feel like they got to get more balls to the net. Appreciate you coming in, Jason, helping out my vocal cord with the play-by-play.
Not a problem, brother. This is fun for me. USA wins that face-off. Again, Batista gets hit up high, no call. That's the third time this week he's gotten high sticked. Luckily, he's okay. Czechs take the ball back into their zone, slowing it down as the USA's now in the 2-3, right? Not giving them any space to get that out. No more home run pass for them. Brings the ball over. They shoot. Whoa, big save by Scanlon there. That one fooled him a little bit. He got a toe on it, kicked it into the near corner. USA picks that ball up. Warner Sané just stands tall there and doesn't let anybody get by him. USA swings it back into the far corner. Again, no problem, taking seconds off the clock. You wonder if in the third period the Czechs are going to have to change their game plan here and not trap so much and try to go after the ball. Warner Sané takes it behind the net. That's a good 20 seconds now off the clock with the U.S. just holding it back there. The Czech player is all the way down on top of the goaltender right now. And I think Scanlon's saying hi to him, giving him a little wave. The fans don't like it, but, you know, hey, got to deal with it. You're losing. Warner Sané again just standing there. We're down to 1:45 here. This has been a good 30 seconds behind the net that they've just been keeping that. Quick pass up top. Thomas takes that. He dishes it back off to Batista. Batista has it over the blue line in the near circle. He's looking for somebody. He feeds over to Biagini. Snapshot. Oh, big save. Big save off the goaltender's shoulder. Fleischmann, don't think he saw that. I think that just hit him on the way. Half an inch higher. That was going to be in. Referee signaling that might have deflected. The USA players are having a little fun with their Czech counterparts. I'm sure they're talking to each other about, you know, I don't know, the local girls having a beer tonight, something like that. Or maybe they're telling each other they're going to kill each other. We can't tell. All right, Batista steps in here for this draw. Trying to win it back. They get tied up in the circle. Czechs come in, they take that out. Swing it back behind the net. Maybe they'll stay back and kill some of their own time. B again, he picks that pass off, chips it in the corner. Just slipping a little bit when he got it, so the Czechs get that back, but a couple seconds off the clock again. Offsides on the Czechs, trying to force that through. Thomas and his buddy from the Czech Republic with the yellow shoes are still having a nice conversation. That's number 81 from the Czech Republic, Simonek Vocek, or that might be Vocek Simonek. Hopefully I said that close to right. But you're definitely going to be able to find that guy on the floor anywhere he is with those shoes. They're the brightest, yellowest things I've ever seen. I don't think my golf balls are that color. Manning Almeida steps in, wins this back into the corner for the U.S. U.S. takes it back behind the net, swings it over to Rob. Rob has it, comes up his boards, almost loses it, but he hits Quancy with it. Quancy gets it out, and here comes Manning Almeida with that speed. He's got Buda with him. Buda Wysong, one of the best players in Pittsburgh, in my opinion. Swings it on the net. Goaltender had to steer that one aside. It was a low roller, but I don't think he saw it in the beginning. Czechs bringing up the near boards. They get it in. Rob's got his guy behind the net. Rob's going to get called here for the takedown. The U.S. just had possession, so I don't know what's going on with the refs, but now they're letting them go. Swings it through. Saved by Scanlon. Back in the corner. Referees still have their arms up, so it's definitely a penalty on USA. They swing it back up to the center point on this 6-on-5, looking for a shot. Big glove save by Scanlon. I don't know what happened, but there's a goalie pad in the middle of the floor. Calling Rob for a hold. Looks like when that guy got around him going to the corner, Rob might have got his stick wrapped around him and taken the guy down. This announcer doesn't think so, but hey, the referee's much closer and much more experienced than I am. Buda Wysong's going off at a bit of a limp, we'll see. Referee and the Jake Manning Almeida are discussing this here. Trying to see, I think they're asking about what happened behind the net. All right, so, well, now there's another discussion. Either way, Joey Rob's in the box with what they're called. You can see it here as he gets his left hand around him. His stick is around him on his left side all the way to his right. That's an easy call for the ref to make, even if the Czech player drew his hand in and sold that. from that angle, it's hard for the referee to determine anything but a hold there. So 13 seconds to go here in the second period. Near zone draw, near circle draw here for the Czechs. Batista's going to step in. They're discussing what they want to do. And everybody in the U.S. lines up inside, looking for that easy block. Batista steps in. Czechs playing up here, number 10. Number 10, he's going to come around, shot. Blocked by the Batista. He's got a break. 8 seconds to go here. Batista's in his zone. He tries to get it over. The Czech players back on top of him. They're just going to take it back behind the net. Wing it through. USA takes that ball, holds it down in center. That's a pretty good period, I think, in my opinion, for the U.S. They're definitely taking off some time with the clock with that ball behind the net. But they're not letting the Czechs have too much. They're negating their speed, and they're taking them kind of out of the play. Chris, what do you think?
I like that period, I really do. I felt like defensively the U.S. was the better team. Offensively, they're continuing to generate sustained attack zone time. The Czechs were better in the second period than the first period when sustained attack, pardon me, I can't even talk anymore. Sustained attack zone time, but credit that to the penalties, right? I think overall the U.S. has more oomph, more pep in their step. See what the coaching staff says to the Czech Republic during the second intermission. I mean, this is guaranteeing you the silver medal. These kids want to go home with some hardware. We know what Doc is going to say to the U.S. coaches, right? You know him very well. It'll be interesting to see how it shapes up in the third.
Chris, I got a question for you. I wonder what the rules are. On that delayed penalty call, when the Czech goaltender was running for the bench, his leg pad came off. It was on the floor. And I wonder if there was a clearing attempt and the ball hit that leg pad and stayed in the zone. Would that be a delay game in the Czech? I remember an old rule way back in the day, the deck hockey days, when I first started playing.
All right, folks, I'm joined by Lewis O'Connor of the USA Under-20 men's team. Lou, you've been playing back and forth, forward and D this week. How has that made you change your game at all, or have you had to change your game at all, I guess, for this team?
I haven't had to change my game. I just get the ball deep, run. Our line's good at that. We got to stick with it. They can't take our back check. Our back check's killing them right now.
Yep, absolutely. So you guys have already had a couple of huge penalty kills, but one to start the third period here. What do you guys need to do to shut the Czechs down?
Block shots. Got to get in lanes. It's a big thing on the penalty kill. Got to get in the lane.
Yep, absolutely. And you guys have been doing a good job of that so far. So, Luke, good luck in the third period, and thanks for the interview, man. Appreciate it.
and gentlemen, we're back here. USA is going to have about 1:47 left on this penalty kill. We start the third period. USA is up 1-0. USA to my left in their away blues, Czech to my right in their home whites. Keep an eye on number 98, Jan Pavlik, for the Czechs. Very dangerous defenseman. Czechs set it up here. They're going to get their umbrella going. Swing it back up to the center point. Fakes the one-timer. Looking over to the far circle. That pass wasn't good enough for a shot. They drop it down low. Wide angle shot there. Scanlon steals off in the corner. U.S. player goes down behind the net. No call. They're swinging it back and forth. Big block by Wysong in the center point. Buda Wysong might weigh 25 pounds, but he eats those shots like it's nothing. Ball comes back up to the center point. Czechs are going to switch their players up a little bit. Moving their umbrella a little bit over to the far side. Bring it back over to number 5. The step center point shot deflected. Goal! Looks like that shot got deflected down on Scanlon. Hit him in the leg pads, and then Scanlon did not find the rebound. They tucked it home. I think the U.S. players are asking for a high stick check to see where that deflection was. Don't know if the referees are going to do it. Let's see what we can see on a replay if this pops out. That shot comes down low. Definitely not going to be a high stick. He knocks that ball down. Scanlon didn't see the rebound. He tucks it through his 5-hole. That looks like number 32, David Sindelier, on the goal. So it's a 1-1 game here with 14:15 left in the third period with a trip to the gold medal on the line. Referee was just over at the Czech bench. I don't know what he was checking there. No pun intended. Now the USA is calling over the referee for a question. They're talking about the high stick. USA ref is asking for a review, but on this replay that we saw, it was definitely below shoulders. Being that it was not in the net, it's only shoulders. In the net, it would have to be crossbar. Ref step in, say here we go. Drop the ball, USA wins it back to Hilliard. He swings it over to Rob. Czechs are now pressuring up on, tie game, which is kind of weird to this announcer, but hey, whatever works for them. Thomas picks it up with some speed. Brings down the far side, shot. Big save by the goaltender Fleischmann. Thomas picks that ball back up. He gets it over to Biagini. Biagini's got it on the far boards. He swings through. Steps through, shot. Just misses. Up top, Biagini tries to throw it back on net. That was blocked down by the Czech defender. Thomas swings it out to 85. Thomas with the shot. That was the captain Batista that fed it out to him for the one-timer and puts off the goalie's shoulder. Biagini gets it back over to Thomas. There's a quick little move, tries to get it back to Biagini in traffic, but the Czechs pick that up. They step over the red. And we have a stoppage of play. Goaltender equipment issue, it looks like. His pad is loose again, and he's fixing that. And that's unfortunate for the Czechs as they were breaking into the zone. That's good for the USA. That ball should come back out to center or the Czechs' defensive side of the neutral zone. I'm not sure. We'll see. But you can see a great play here by the U.S. to pick that ball up. Batista gets it right out to 85 from the U.S. for a one-timer right off the shoulder. 85, that was Alex Thomas with that one-timer there. It's a quick discussion at center what's going on here. And now we're going to drop this ball. Manning Almeida steps in for the face-off. He wins that back to Rob. Rob gets it up over center. Chips it in to Joey Moore, just out of his reach. Czech defender, interferes with him, takes him down again. No call. They're letting the boys play physical. Czechs are passing this ball back and forth behind the net. Quancy and Moore are trying to keep it pinned in. Czech players up top, loses that. Moore gets it over to Quancy, gets it in the zone, but the Czech player intercepts it. Takes Quancy's stick out of his hand. USA steals it. Hilliard's on a break. He's got a little bit of speed, far side, shot, glove saved by the Czech goaltender. Joey Moore and number 7, David Stulik, are having a few words there in front of the net. We're going to have a defensive zone face-off here for the Czechs. USA sends Almeida back out to take this draw. We're going to be on the far circle. You can see in this replay here is Hilliard shoots at Czech goalie, just grabs it. Number 7 from the Czechs just gives Moore a shot. was coming to the stick side, not to the glove side where the ball was, so no real reason there for that contact. Again, probably talking about what they're doing tonight. Manning Almeida steps in, ties up, tries to win this draw. The Czechs come through, that gets back up to Warner Sini. He beats a guy down low, comes in a wide angle shot. Almeida comes in, gives him a little stick check there on the glove, and they don't like what he's doing now. Warner Sini's getting pushed around by a player. Not really getting pushed around, he's just not moving out of his way. You can see on that rebound, on that replay, that Warner Sini was all the way down by the goal line as a right-handed shot, trying to catch him sleeping. Almeida steps in again, wins that back up to Warner Sini. Shot, that just misses a little bit low. Batista tries to put it back on net real fast, get out of the goaltenders. Now we got it down low, back to Almeida. He picks it up off the back of the net, tries to get out front to Batista. The Czechs break out. 91 for the Czech, shot on Scanlon, big rebound. That's steered away by the USA. They take it back behind the net. A little bit of speed, get it to Warner Sini. He's gonna throw it up the near boards to Almeida. The Czechs are all over him trying to get it. It's a hand pass on the Czechs there, but sticks out. Down low, shot, big save by Scanlon. He just got that with a toe. Keeps it 1-1. Almeida tries to beat a guy, loses the ball, but his tremendous speed gets him to pick it back up. He swings back around on his blue line, slows down, gets over the red line, takes it in himself, chip, turns on the Jets. Even at the end of the shift, this kid's still fast. And he just gets buried on top of the ball. Referees look at him, tell him to get up. He gets tripped again, referees tell him to get up. Referees are letting a lot of things go here. Czechs got the ball now in the USA zone in the far corner. They swing it back up to the far circle. Shot, and that's blocked. Comes to Warner Sini. Czechs are going for a change. He just stands there, chips it back behind the net to Rob so he can get changed. Rob's waiting for him to come out. Louis O'Connor comes. Nathan Zavolas comes out there. USA again looking for that stretch pass. They hit Mattis over the red line. He chips it, turns on the Jets to go get it. He's in the corner with the ball. He's got the ball in the far corner looking for help. Buda Wysong's crashing in the back of the net, goes behind. Mattis chips it through. Back behind the net, it's tied up with a very large Czech player. Buda Wysong gets it, pulls it out of that play. Tries to put it back up top. The Czechs break with a 2-on-1. Offsides. Oh, we got a penalty in the back, a holding on the Czech player as he got tied up with Mattis, and they both went to the ground. The referee was telling him to get up. As we turned our vision for that 2-on-1, it looks like the Czech player grabbed Mattis as he was trying to get up and did not let him move. Calling for a hold. USA's got a dangerous power play to come out here with 10:42 to go in the third. I don't know if we'll get a rebound for that. I'll give this over to Chris. What did you see there?
So I saw number 8 initially give the U.S. player the business, and the ref came over, circled behind the net to watch him very closely. I'm not sure what number 8 was thinking there, but that's a really bad penalty to take at this stage of the game. Absolutely unnecessary away from the plate. Not only cost your team a break, now you're shorthanded.
Yeah, let's see if the USA can make them pay here. PJ Biagini steps in for the face-off. He wins that back up. Drake Manning Almeida on the point. He's going to bring it down to the near boards. They're going to bring it back up to Almeida. He's going to swing into the center. He's going to quarterback this umbrella. Brings it back over to Thomas on the close side. Thomas is looking for that backdoor breaker. That gets deflected. Batista's breaking for the back door there. Warner Sini is now behind the net. Wonder if they're going to try to quarterback this from down low. Brings it over to Thomas, back to Warner Sini below the goal line. He's looking for those one-timers. Thomas is there again. Tried again, sneaking through to Batista on that back door. If that gets through, it's going to be a slam dunk goal, folks. Watch out for that. They chip it out. Manning Almeida's all the way back for it. He's going to get it up. Quick pass up. Over to Thomas, who gets it over blue line, gains his own, lets the U.S. get set. Batista's got it. He's going to swing it down low to Warner Sini. Warner Sini puts it back up to Batista. Back down to Warner Sini. Playing in the far corner. He's got Almeida up top if he wants him. Brings it up to him. Drake Almeida brings it back to Warner Sini, who steps in the slot. Looks again for that back door. Almost had it. The Czechs clear it out. Good block by the Czechs down low there. And they throw that ball out of the zone. Manning Almeida swings it up really fast. Up to Warner Sini, who's all by himself on the left side. Steps in. The Czechs are getting set. USA is going to slow down, look to get back in their box. He swings it back down to Batista down low behind the goal line. Warner Sini in the far circle. Brings it center point to Biagini. Back down to Warner Sini in that circle. He's at the face-off dot. Looking for a lane out front. Score! Batista! For the one-time touch into the net there. What a beautiful setup. That's the pass they're looking for. Batista in the center of the net. Warner Sini hit him with a little pass, and Batista just reached out and gave it a little kiss and put it in the top corner of the net. His dad's down there on the bench, general manager of this team. You know he's got to have a proud moment right now. And you see in this replay, Warner Sini comes all the way in the face-off, that slips through, and Batista just shovels that forward right over the goaltender's glove. Beats Fleischmann there up high. You get a reverse angle of it here. You can see that ball comes through just inside the post, beats him wide. Beautiful, beautiful setup by the U.S. 9:09 to go here, 2-1 in the third. Referees are talking over at the clock box. I don't know what they could be talking about, but we shall see. Chris, what do you think there on that shot and pass?
That's the third time this tournament I've seen Warner Sini make the most beautiful feather pass for a one-time right to the back of the net. I just saw such soft hands, really impressed with his game all around. Get back to the Czech penalty. That's why you don't take bad penalties, kids.
Yeah, here we go. Czechs win that draw forward. Get it into the USA zone, pump it into the near corner. USA player Joe Robb picks up. He gets knocked over by a Czech player off the ball. Czech takes it behind the net. They got two players down low. Mattis is all over the player of the ball now. He tries the center pass, but USA picks that off, brings it on to the near side to Buda Wysong. Buda holds on the ball, slips it into the back. Back to Robb. Robb sets up behind his net. The Czechs are pressing a little bit more than they did before. Now they're going to come for their press. They're not going to let the U.S. stand back there now. Buda Wysong with a dangerous pass across the middle, but that gets out to Kwanzi. U.S. chips it in the zone. Czechs stealing, hit him with a backhand spin pass, trying to get through. Nice feed by Joey Robb there. He chips the ball through, carries it himself over center. He's going to bring it in the near side. Shot on the net's blocked. Robb chases it himself. He just gets murdered. No call by the referee. There was no play in the ball there. That was a full shoulder. Took him down to the ground with a full shoulder check and no call. That should be talked about later, maybe fixed for the next event. Czech's got the ball behind the net. Joey Robb picks up his stick. He's going to go for a change. I'm sure he's feeling that one a little bit. Czechs bring the ball and chip it over into the middle. They break through, lose the ball into the corner. USA Warner Sini's on him. He gets his feet taken out from him. I think he just stepped on that blade there. Comes back up, comes back over that ball. This kid's all over the place. Czechs have the ball back on the far boards. Warner Sini again on top. He's pinning his man in. Ball's loose. Warner Sini spins off, tries to get it. USA swings it back behind the net. They have it there. They're going to spin back around again. Joey Robb. Now Robb's getting off for that change. Talk about a warrior staying on that long after that hit. He's going to go get himself some air. Drake Manning Almeida beats the guy. He goes, takes it behind the net with his speed. He's wrapping around, looking for a pass. Up to Batista, blocked by 77 from the Czechs. That's Patrick Siz. The Czechs bring it back down. They're over the line. Warner Sini's on him. Wide angle shot, that pops out into the middle. Big rebound up top. The Czechs pick that up all the way up high. Down low, shot. Oh, he flubbed it, puts it in the middle. Warner Sini was in the right spot for the block. Batista kicks that back around to Joey Moore, but the Czech player reads that. Moore stick checks him, gets it up top. Moore again gets it through. Czechs get it on the red line, keep it in, all the way down. Batista picks it up in the far corner. And we have a penalty here on the USA players for a trip. Joey Moore on his way out. I didn't see it. Chris, did you see anything there?
I didn't see anything, but I feel like the referees owe the United States one. Look, I got to go full Jack Edwards here. That should have been a call down low on the body shot to Robb. I don't know how you don't make that call. So you're going to call a trip here. Just keep it even.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I don't think we're going to see a make-up call, but 100% that call down below. It was a full shoulder-on-shoulder hit when the ball was 6 or 7 feet in front of them. If the ball's there, maybe they let that go, but the ball was not there, and he buries the kid. Puts him on the ground, knocks his stick out of hand, and then you're going to call some ticky-tack stuff here. Again, talking off air here, neither one of us saw the trip. Looked to me like Joey Moore was going for a change. Must have got tangled up with a Czech player on the way to the bench. The U.S. is sending out Wysong, Mattis, Rob, and John Nikolashki. Sorry again, John. 6:35 to go here. Mattis steps in for the draw. He wins that over to the boards. There we go. Rob shoots that out, but that gets out of play into the bench. I'm sorry, not Rob, that was Nikolashki into the Czech bench, so we're back for another defensive zone draw, about 4 seconds off that penalty there. Mattis steps in again. Near zone draw. Mattis wins it back in the corner. Nikolashki picks it up. He's got somebody all over him. He's taking some time. Czech players are there. He's just taking some time. He's got 2 players on top. He's had that ball pinned against the boards real well. Whistle, we're going to have a face-off. That's a pretty quick whistle. If you've seen earlier in the weekend, you know, they're letting them do that, making them move it, right? So that's defensive play there for the U.S. to take some time off the clock. I'd be asking about why that whistle's so quick. Mattis steps in for his third. Wins it again off to the side. Nikolashki clears the zone. Nope, he does not. 5 keeps it in for the Czechs up the near point. Steps in, center point there, back and back. They're playing a little catch, looking for the one-timers. Comes back again, 5 with the one-time. Score! I believe that might have deflected off of number 20, Nikolashki from the U.S. as he went down from the block. 6:05 remaining. 2-2 with the Czech power play goal here.
Yeah, I think it was deflected, Jason. Hopefully you got a good look at it from the down low angle, because based on Nikolashki's reaction, he seemed quite upset. Yeah, you can say he immediately went down. I mean, Scanlon's in the right position. Yeah, that was deflected.
Yeah. It looked to me like Scanlon was going down and kicked down in his chest and had far post on him. So, yeah, hey, I mean, eating shots is part of your defenseman's job, right? Once in a blue moon, that stuff just happens. All right, well, we got a tight game here. USA loses that face-off. Czechs take it back to their defensive zone. He's gonna try to break it up, bring it up to the near boards, number 7. Shot on Scanlon. He's just gonna eat that. He's got it in his chest. Czech player wants to come in there and run his mouth and doesn't like getting pushed around. USA's got the captain's line out there, Batista, Biaghitti, and number 85, Thomas. Let's see if Biaghitti and the boys can work some magic on this next shift. Oh, there's a good reason to kick out somebody for face-off. Let's give her a quick warning. Czechs win that ball, but that's stolen by Biaghitti. He's got one to beat. He's got some speed. Shot! Just steered wide by the goaltender. Biaghitti gets that ball in the near corner, pins that in. Fight with the Czech player, gets taken down. Again, no call there. I agree with that one. They're leaning on each other. Czechs win that ball up top. Rob tries to keep it in. U.S. gets it back on the blue line, chips it up. The Czechs steal that. They're coming in, a little bit of a change. Quick dump, comes right out front on Scanlon. The Czechs are going for a change here. They got 3 fresh legs on the floor, maybe 4. Here comes the last guy. USA are getting a couple fresh bodies on the floor as well. Just cycle that ball back to Warner-Snee behind the net. Rob goes off. Miller and Kwanzi Nikolashki come on. Manning Almeida. Warner-Snee's coming up. He hits Manning Almeida on the far boards of the blue line. Manning Almeida's going to turn on the Jets. It's like the kid's got a cheat code and a speed button. Backhand on the goal. He almost tries to fool him. Czechs break it back out here. 4-on-4. Come in the zone. Drop pass shot. Scanlon makes a big save. Warner-Snee's got him with a check on him. He chips it up. Czechs steal that. Back in the center slot, number 72. Blocked there by the the U.S. players, Manning Almeida takes it in the back. That block is by Nikolowski. They send it back to Warner Sané. Kwanzi's up here on the far blue line trying to look for that home run pass. Warner Sané takes it back behind the net. Coming out on the near side. He's going to drop it off. Manning Almeida's got it. Miller's crossing. Kwanzi's going for a change. Mattis is out now. Over the far side, bringing up the boards. Here comes Nikolowski. He just turns back at the blue line, looking for space. Sends it over to Warner Sané. He loses the ball. Back to him. He's got it at the red line. Puts it in deep. God, hits a Czech player on the way in. Wow, no call there. That's a great no call for the U.S. because he just buried that kid. Buda Weissong chips it up the boards. He's got a little bit of speed. He gets poke check, picks the ball back up. Takes a little bit of hit on the boards there. Gets down behind the net. Tries to swing it out front. Has it by himself behind the net. Gets it out for himself. Oh, beautiful little backhand trying to catch him in the 5-hole. Didn't have a lot of mustard on it, but it was a smart play. Uh-oh, they got a video review here. I think they're going to be looking at that hit in the back. Chris, I don't know why they can video review a non-call when a referee was 5 feet from it looking right at it and literally gave the signal to get up. What do you think?
Well, we have instituted coaches' challenges here starting last week, the ISBHF. This could be a coach's challenge. Now, if the coach is wrong and the referees don't call a penalty, they'll be penalized themselves with a delay of game.
What I will say is, what under normal circumstances was that a penalty? Obviously, right? You and I saw it. He cleaned them out. However, the referee didn't call it. He's letting the players play. That should signal to the benches that he's going to let stuff go. I understand the thought process behind the video review, but now if you put it in the referee's head, okay, you don't want me to let the players play, then that's how I'm going to call it. I wouldn't risk it there.
Right, and I think that there is maybe the refs are going to start overcalling it if they're worrying about the video review, because nobody wants to be deemed wrong. So we'll see what happens here from this review and see what they got. USA has got all their players over there. Jimmy Dock, the coach, is in talking to him, probably talking about getting ready for whatever's going to happen here. And here comes the ref. Let's see what his call is. 2 minutes for cross-check. 3:14 to go. And the USA is going on the penalty kill. I think Warner Sané's asking why the referee's standing right there, not calling it, asking why the hit on Rob was more or less the same thing. That was a shoulder-to-shoulder hit. This is a cross-check. But again, somebody's buried, no call. And then we go down here on a review. Right, that player swung and hit. Looks like he might have hit Scanlon up high. And that's probably why they came in to clear him out. You know, I think the referee's got to, if they're going to call that, they got to even it up, right? Call the slash on the goaltender, right? That you were going to let go because it was probably accidental. But now that you have this one, you got to even them up there. We shall see. The Czechs are taking their time to get into the face-off. Yeah, it looks to me like the USA coaches livid down on the bench here. The fans are letting them have it. Only people in the building that are happy, I think, are the Czechs. Well, let's see what the USA can do here. Couple blocks, couple clears, get out of this thing, get down to that last minute 14. Go get that one. Yeah, keep away from Danacek on the Czechs. He is deadly. Mattis wins it back. Warner Sané takes it back behind the net, spins, gets it back over to Mattis. Mattis clears that ball. All right, you know, there's 10 seconds down. Czech goalie plays it back up. They bring it over center. Looking for entry. Entry on the near wing. One-timer up slot. That's blocked. I think that might have hit 87 from the Czechs. He's limping pretty good. USA tries to clear it out with a hand. They'll get enough on it. The Czechs keep it in. Center point back. Playing pitch and catch, number 5. Bring it to the other side of the umbrella on the far circle. One-timer down low outside the net. Scanlon covers. That was Vanacek on the shot there. That guy is dangerous. Chris, were you saying that he had a big goal before for them in the U18s?
Yeah, so he had a memorable goal. Gave the Czechs the gold medal in Liberec 2 years ago in overtime against Slovakia, famous photograph for the Czech Ball Hockey Federation, him throwing his helmet off into the stands, screaming towards the Czech bench, but just a natural goal scorer. Very good hands, very good awareness.
All right, USA steps in here for another draw. Mattis wins that, gets off the Warner Sanin, we get another clear. Down to 1:15 left on the power play. That's a good 45 seconds off the clock for the boys so far. Czechs bring it up. Not showing any urgency, looking for the good setup. Get it right in the zone. Mattis is on him. They bring it back out to center points. They set up their umbrella. Bring it close by. Playing pitch and catch number 23. Brings it down to the near circle. Swings off. One-timer up center point. That's blocked by Rob. Mattis chips up in the corner himself. Tries to get position there. He's got 2 checks on him. Back up to the point. 72 with a one-timer. Buda Wysong with a big block. All right. Back up here to the circle. Down low. One-time shot from the line. Scanlon sucks that up. Warner Sanin gives a Czech player a little, how you doing? Don't come talk to my goalie. He's in the zone right now. Might want to leave him alone. Danacek for the Czechs just came out to call a timeout here. So the Czechs are going to have about a minute break here before they got 30-second timeout before they got 41 seconds left. 1:55 left in the third period. It's showing on the board the shots are 19-13. I think, again, they're a little higher than that. I think they're getting a little delay before they get put up. But again, 1:55 in the third, 2-2 game. Winner of this is going to the gold medal. Chris, what do you think the U.S. is going to say here to their people to get ready for this?
Do the same thing you just did for the last minute, 20 seconds. Active sticks, active feet. Make sure the passing lanes are blocked, right? We know they're going to want to get it to Danacek for the one-timer. Make sure you have your eyes moving at all times. Follow that ball, track your man, be smart.
All right, well, I like it. Let's see what they do here. Coach Doherty is no stranger to a good penalty kill.
No, he's not.
And the assistant coach, Tyler Cava, with the greatest mustache in the building, I might add.
By far.
Also, one of the best penalty killers back in the States. They have some good teachers there to get these kids going. Mattis steps in for this draw. Wins it off to the side. The Czechs pick that up. They get it back up to the point to number 5. They get set in their umbrella, center point. They're looking for 5 for that shot. They're looking for that center shot right now. Shot! Score! Review. They're going to call the review here. I don't know, Chris. I think that might have been in the back of the net. The way that came down, it came down pretty slow. But if that hit the bar dead center and it just dropped, that could be it. So hopefully we're going to see. I don't know if we'll get a replay while they're reviewing it or not. But let's see what we can see here for you, folks. The play is officially under review. So on our replay here, as they come for that one-timer, I can't tell from there. It was immediately blown dead and called for review. We got a reverse angle shot here. Yep, that's in the back of the net, boys. That's off the back bar. So looks like the Czechs are going to be up here 3-2 with 1:41 to go. USA has plenty of time to pull out the stops. Chris, do you think the U.S. could have did anything different on that shot there?
No, they were in the right spot. You know, it's just one of those shots, right, that has eyes. You see 87 jumping, trying to screen Scanlon. Scanlon's a good position. You know, as a goaltender myself, sometimes you play everything perfect and you just get beat. These balls curve, you know it, Jason, sometimes 6-7 feet from the red line, right? So a shot like that, I don't know what you can do differently, right? I mean, you want to see a long shot from that from the point, you know, as a goaltender, because you can track it the entire way. But with a guy jumping in front of you, all you can do is go down, you know, try to make the positional save. The ball curved around him, obviously, and it was in off the back bar. I just want to get back to the penalty. It's disappointing for America because that no call down there with the ball being 6-7 feet away and the player getting cleaned into the boards basically told the U.S., okay, the refs are going to let us play. And I think that's why Nikolowski cleaned house on that play. So I think that if the United States ends up losing this game, they certainly have a valid argument to make that the officiating played the role by setting the wrong message with that no call. Because had there been a call, maybe Nikolowski wouldn't have cleaned house on that Czech player. I don't know. Listen, my philosophy is the refs have the hardest job of the tournament, right? Don't put yourself in a position where you can let the referees decide the outcome of a game. It's always been my philosophy in all sports. Certainly true in hockey. This is going to be a disappointing outcome for the United States. Obviously, they're going to award the goal. I mean, you and I can see it, Jason. It's right there on the replay. It's in the back of the net.
Yeah, I don't know why this review is taking so long unless they're looking at multiple angles just to be 100% sure. But the angle that we saw, that hit the back center bar.
After the review, there is a goal.
And that's it. Referee calls the goal. 3-2 Czechs with a minute 41 to go. Let's see if the USA can pull a rabbit out of their hat here. They just showed the replay for the fans. It looks like that might have curved around his block or something. The USA are asking some more questions at center with the refs. I don't know what they could be asking. I mean, again, I even think the defenseman knew that was in when he picked up that rebound because he didn't run out with any urgency. Thomas, Batista, and Almeida are going to go here with Warner Sneed and Nikolowski in the back. Wonder how quickly they'll pull Scanlon. He's looking at the bench, walking that way, probably with possession in the zone. Czechs are now going to press. Bad pass over to Warner Suni. Got a guy down low. He's in front all alone. Shot just misses the net. Scanlon lets that get taken out over to Warner Suni as they break up. Scanlon's heading for the bench. Warner Suni chips it over and then boards to Batista. Batista's trying to get set. He beats a guy, gets himself down in low. Shot! Save. That's behind the net. Czechs pick that up and they're going to try to clear. Biagini misses that. He takes it all the way down in the corner. 1 minute to go in the third period. Biagini swings that up. Czechs read that pass. Intercept that 2-on-0 down low to the empty net and score. That's 4-2 Czech Republic. They saw Biagini what he saw. Player made a great dash to intercept that pass. The pass had eyes, it was going to make it, but that player just read that, picked it up, they came down to 2-on-1 with the empty net. Nothing that the USA could do after that. USA is going to take a penalty here. Drake Manning Almeida just got called, I believe, for a 10 of his conduct there. And he just got another one. That's potential suspension for the next game. And he continues to argue with the referee. And he just got a third. He just got tossed out of the game. He got 3 misconducts on 1 call. I can't see how he's going to be allowed to play in the bronze medal game. They send him off to the locker room now. Come over and talk to the USA coach and let him know what the calls are. Penalty box door is still open, which doesn't make sense. They just gave him 10s. They didn't call him for any minor. No, the 10 minutes you're out of the game, especially with 51 seconds to go, and they gave him 10 after 10 after 10. He's ejected. Shouldn't be a servable penalty here, as it's not a man advantage. Clock official has called the referee over to the box to talk to him. Looks like they are going to send somebody over to sit this. Yeah, it looks like they must have given him an unsportsmanlike conduct and then the two 10s. Czechs are just going to be content to take this power play and run it back to their own zone. Waste off time, 40 seconds to go here in the third. USA is going to have to press. The Czechs are just going to play keep away. .30 seconds left. USA pulled the goalie, now they're 5, so now they're going to go to a full press, see what they can do. I'm pretty sure that third hit there that the US player gave him was nothing, and that Czech player's faking it, but the first two were pretty good. Now we got a little bit of shove and match. Czech player's down, he's kicking his legs. He might be in a bit of pain. USA's number 85, Alex Thomas, is in a bit of an argument there. When he went behind the net, it looked to me like that Czech player got a piece of him, and he just gave it back to him. Thomas is going to the box. Czech fans are giving it to him. And again, we're going to go to another video review. Chris, I don't know exact rule here, but I think if he takes a major there at the end of the game and an intent, that could be another guy suspended for the bronze game.
Absolutely. Referee discretion there, right? If they see intent to injure, they can absolutely give him a match. That could be subject to disciplinary action by the tournament organizing committee. You know, folks, try to be the voice of reason here and take the emotion out of it. You know that I always say referees have the hardest job in the tournament. Every tournament I call, I always say that. I feel very strongly they do. Until you're here at a World Championship, you see how fast this game is. The television just does not do it justice. What I will say for the angry American fans at home is the refs should not have interjected themselves into this game. Because when you interject yourselves into the game, this is what happens, especially in a U20 division. Let's remember, these are young men, right? Some of them are kids. You know, they're not, we were all there once, right? I'm trying to be diplomatic, Jason. We all have a hard time controlling our emotions.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll tell you what, Chris, watching the Czech player who was on the ground kicking his legs like his back was broken, pointing to his back saying he was hurt, just walked off the rink, got on the bench and smiled and chuckled to all of his buddies, sat down and told the trainer he was fine. Good sell job by there. Shitty thing to do in hockey. Part of my life.
That's understandable, Jason. We've all been there. Just back to my point, folks at home, it's disappointing to see the refs interject themselves into a game like this. I'm sure that referee-in-chief Michael Wabi, technical director Andrei Nemchek, and European referee-in-chief Yaroslav Mikula will certainly have something to talk about after this game, but I'll give it back to you, Jason. They're probably going to wrap this up here with 16 seconds left.
Yeah, Christian, you are right. The referees do have the hardest job out there. USA wins this draw. Batista gets it back. They take it back behind the net. Nikolowski, he's being chased by a Czech player. Chips it up towards himself. He's going to take it up over blue line and red line. Looking to make a move, center point. The fans that shot on the goaltender. And the Czechs are going in for a big celebration. It was a heck of a game played by both teams there to the last few minutes. Like you said, a couple of calls maybe that should have went one way, shouldn't. Who knows? So we're not down there. We don't have the stripes on. Beautiful power play set up by the Czechs. Yeah, well, we'll see. Hopefully all the boys in blue are able to play the next game.
Folks, again, we're talking to an American audience because obviously the game is being dual broadcasted, and the people who speak Czech are listening to the other broadcast. I know you're disappointed. What can Jason and I say? You saw it with your own eyes. Not the outcome we wanted. I feel like the Americans outplayed the Czechs for the majority of the game, with the exception of the power plays, right? And ultimately, that's what decided the game. And so there's certainly an emotion here where America feels like they were robbed. And the risk of sounding like a homer, I kind of feel the same way. I really do. It's disappointing to see a game decided like this. And I would say this, whether it was Switzerland and Slovakia, or Canada and Great Britain in the women's division, you don't want to see games decided by officiating, right? Let the players decide the game. And the same is true, Jason, you and I are diehard Philadelphia Eagles fans. Go back to that penalty on Bradbury in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, right? You let them play all game, and then you throw the flag, and it gives the Chiefs the Super Bowl effectively. I mean, fans just don't want to see that, so I appreciate why the fans are upset at home. Anything else to add before we wrap it up?
No, I tell you what, the USA's playing some great hockey. Again, A couple bad penalties, a couple bad calls, whatever you want to say it is there, but some great power play run by the Czech there. I think that the USA boys are going to get their emotions in check and get ready for tomorrow and go out and just blast whoever they're playing in the bronze medal game and bring home some hard work because they definitely deserve something. They played great hockey all week.
They really do. They really do. I hope they are able to go home with the bronze tomorrow playing Slovakia. Tough outcome, but that'll do it for Jason and I. Again, my vocal cords especially appreciate Mr. Kelly stepping in. Hopefully he can help out tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, folks. 9 a.m. start here for the first bronze medal game. United States going home, trying to go home with some hardware. They're going to do battle against Slovakia, as will America. And then the two gold medal games will be Canada and the Czech Republic. We'll see you back here tomorrow for all that action. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Czechia. Dámy a páni, prosím, postavte sa, zaznie štátna hymna Českej republiky.
All right, folks, I'm joined by Caden Wysong. So I was going to say Budo, but Caden, opening goal there in the first period. How did that get the boys going in that game?
Man, we knew we had to come out fast, come out hard. That was a big momentum getter. We just had to stay out the box and stay 5-on-5. It's a rough game to lose, but I'm proud of everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very fun to watch. So going into the third period, it was 1-0. You guys had shut the Czechs down, but they came out firing in that third, scored 4 goals. What do you think went wrong in that final period?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we've done all tournament is once we get down a goal, everyone just hangs their heads. We're a very good team. As long as we stay positive, we'll be able to get the outcome we want. I love everyone on this team. We just got to stay positive. That's all it is.
Yeah, for sure, and you guys will have to carry that over into the bronze medal match against Slovakia tomorrow. So good luck in that game, and thanks for the interview, Budo. Appreciate it.
Radek Vyhlídal, hráč utkání, bude komentovat úspěšné utkání České republiky, ve kterém zvládli otočit nepříznivý stav ve třetí třetině a zaslouženě postoupit do zítřejšího finále. Radku, musím se tě zeptat, jak to u tebe probíhá v hlavě? Euforie, či už v hlavě jsi naladěnej na ten zítřejší zápas?
Tak teďka po zápase samozřejmě budeme slavit, užijeme si to, ale prostě oslavy budou a pak už se budeme soustředit na finále.
Jak bys popsal tu atmosféru, která panovala na střídačce v tom nepříznivém momentu, když Američané vyrovnali na 2-1 a byli blíže k tomu postupu do finále?
To nejde popsat, to si prostě musíte zažít. Je to něco neskutečného, jak se semkne ten tým, běžíte na tu střídačku, je to neuvěřitelný pocit.
Díky Radku, ať se zítra daří. Radek Vyhlídal, hráč utkání.